Where the Force leads, I will follow.
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 Where I lead, they will follow.
Hey, y'all, and welcome back to Tales from the Table Studios. We're here with another wonderful episode of Path of the Fates. It's going to be a great time. I don't want to spend too much time chatting, but do stick around until the end because we've got an exciting announcement to make when we have wrapped today's episode. But we'll put that to the side for now. One of my cats is attacking the wall for some reason. It's wonderful. I just see random, jumping out of the corner of my eye. It's a good time. But anyway, let's start things around so everyone can remind everyone who you are, where you can be found, cool stuff you're doing, and all of that. And we're going to start today with X.
Hello, everybody. That's me. I'm Extell. You can find me at Extell the King on all the socials, mainly Blue Sky and Threads, let's be honest. Keep an eye out on my others. Keep an eye out on my socials because I got some stuff that I'm going to announce soon-ish as soon as I get, plans and stuff underway. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, you can catch me here every other Saturday. And other places. Oh, All Our Faults. I'm also on there on the podcast for TTN, which is a good time. But I'm excited to be playing Ronin Nil again today. Both he and I pronouns are he, him, and I just cannot wait to see what chaos is about to happen right now.
Wonderful. Chaos indeed. Stefan.
Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Stefan. You can find me on Blue Sky at Umbral Night X or on the platform formerly known as Twitter as Umbral_Night X. I know a lot of people have migrated away from said platform, but even though I'm not a Christian, I'm an educator, and I mentioned Christianity because I liked the philosophy of Christ going out among the masses and sometimes hanging out with the people that other people wouldn't hang out with and trying to educate them. And so I'm still on the platform formerly known as Twitter, trying to educate people because I talk about social justice issues and representation and all that kind of thing. Sometimes it's like talking to a wall, but hey, if I can get one or two, then I feel vindicated. So yeah, you'll find me there. Doing things, and I am playing Valden Voseska today. Both him and I use he, him pronouns. So,
if ever a reason to still be on Twitter, that's probably the only one, is to see the stuff that Stefan's putting out. So, if for some reason you are still on there, go check that out. It's good stuff. Zach.
Hey everybody, my name is Zach. You can find me on Blue Sky at scheduled for launch with the number 4. I'm going to be playing, I guess, Jedi Master Waycash, which I'm still getting used to. Yeah. The Jedi Knight, formerly known as Waycash. Both of our pronouns are he, him. And I'm just excited to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week, especially after last week's episode. I was ready to go.
Same.
Amazing.
Very different tables. I knew they were. I was told, but
yeah, the energy is very different.
My.
Yeah, it's almost feral over there, and it's
almost.
Sorry, very, very.
I don't know almost about it.
And I guess
haymakers and smooches.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget the hugs. We also had hugs. There were hugs.
There was a kiss, a hug, and then a haymaker, and then a bridge that collapsed.
Home bridge.
a meaty skeletal bridge. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And then jumping, slow motion jumping, and we'll see how that plays out next week.
We had jumping in ours too. It was
That's
a lot of falling,
true.
but we did have jumping
Well, is jumping and
Yes.
falling? They're really kind of just
in style.
yeah.
So I jumped because I jumped from like piece of rock to piece of rock, carrying Waycash all the way down.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is not how I anticipated way to go.
But I suppose I must accept my fate.
Because it's like
And the face is the floor.
Valden was like umbrella falling, like Mary Poppins, just and then Ronin is just like acrobatically hopping from rock to rock, and Waycash is like a brick, like just falling straight down to the ground.
Ah, yes. This
So
is faith.
Speaking of that, I think as we begin our episode, our story today, we see the group of you sort of land, hitting this stone floor, the impact echoing outwards. It's still dark down here, but there does seem to be a bit of light from the room beyond down a hall. And the light that does filter in flickers like flame light, illuminating just a bit of the what seems to be circular room that you now inhabit. Rubble collapsing around you. The room still shaking just slightly as it does. As I remember it, upon landing, where you are being bridal style carried by Ronin,
Bellator,
correct?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Bellator.
Bellator, correct, yes.
Yeah.
And what would y'all like to do?
Like tap his chest and just go, I thank you.
Yep, no problem. And I'll set you down. All right.
Alden?
Valden is
Oh,
just
there
going
you
to
are.
kind of stand and shake off the dust of the collapse and look around and kind of make sure, take stock of like everyone, make sure everyone has all of their all of the pieces they had going into this thing.
Take a moment to collect ourselves.
Yes.
As the rubble begins to settle around you, you hear a very low thrumming sound from the room beyond down that hallway, echoing through the hall and into the room you're in. It's low, soft, quiet, easy enough to ignore or easy enough to convince yourself perhaps it is not an immediate concern, but it is there, ever present. It's similar to what you heard before when the spirits began to rise. But there does not seem to be any movement, no sounds of scuffling, or any signals of any immediate threat. Yet, at least.
I'm gonna sit and take a moment to compose myself. I sit cross-legged style, eyes wide open, but I like lean on my elbow. I put my elbow onto my knee and lean on my fist as I'm just sort of like, all right. So, couple of things. One, you're not at all what I thought Jedi would be like. You're nice. Second, we've got a problem. Bane is a vindictive piece of shit. And he is not going to let, well, what just happened slide. So, it looks like for the time being, we're going to have to work together.
Agreed.
I agree as well. But Bellator, I do have one very quick question. Well, two, I suppose I should say. I'm assuming you're not working alone.
You can continue to assume so,
Okay.
but I will neither confirm nor deny.
My second question is, why did you or one of yours kill the professor?
Main reason? It's something we needed. Something that we needed to continue our pilgrimage, so to speak. But that's neither here nor there. But secondly, he was in possession of an object that would lead us to the temple on the moon of Onderon.
Was his death necessary?
Let's put it this way. If he had continued to live and made it to the temple like he wanted to, I'm sure that you would have encountered a third person more in tune with the dark side. He seemed, well, corrupted. So, in the long run, I say it's better that he died because he might have caused more problems than I or my assumed partner would ever.
Fair enough.
Although I will be honest that that's not entirely right, the reason I killed him.
Desire? Simply wanting to.
It would have been a problem for us.
Okay.
Don't kill needlessly. But when there's a reason to, or I have a feeling that I need to, I will. That answer your questions?
Does.
Yes.
I think, are we all taking a moment to like meditate in this like kind of thing while we're doing this?
Yeah, that's why I sat down. I'm taking a breather for sure.
Okay. Because I think it's very interesting to see how we all meditate with these three characters, because we've seen Ronin meditate, but it's probably very different for Valden and Wei.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wei takes out not this like the saber, but he like takes the cane and he's more or less doing like sword motions following the like he's basically shadow boxing as his style of meditation, where he gets in tune. He says out to Bellator, do you have any questions for us then? It's only fair.
What do you think of me? Truly. No harm, no foul, whether you hate me or not.
I haven't fully developed an opinion of you yet. I think you have a lot of potential. And I think you're making things too easy on yourself, tapping into the dark side.
And you?
I agree. I think that we have not yet encountered enough about you to form an opinion.
You seem a decent sort, so it makes me wonder what your partner's like. I just wonder if you're being used as a blade or an associate.
When you say being used, there's like he sort of had this like playful smile on his face this whole time, because you can tell this is kind of fun for him, this whole thing. When you say being used, he the smile kind of drops for a second and then returns. And then he goes, "No, never."
With the strikes, he goes, "Keep it that way."
While this is going on, Veldon is going to kind of kneel down, just kind of place his hands in front of him on his lap, and he is actually going to try and reach out with the Force just to see if he can sense anything about New 10 at all, as far as location or present state or any of that. Just try and...
Absolutely. Why don't you make me a force roll?
I will do that.
You have 4 dice now, right?
I do.
So
I
many
do.
dice.
So many
lot of
dice.
Gosh.
Whew.
Damn.
Yes.
What do we got?
I got 4 light and 2 dark.
Woo. We
Nasty
love
work.
to see it. Okay. So for activating sense, how many of those would you like to use and what would you like to use them for?
I am going to use one light, of course, to activate, 1 light to increase the range. And actually, I have enough now. I'm going to use 2 to extend the range and just try and reach out and see if I can just pick up just the basic to like either location and or state of mind.
Absolutely. So you reach out and it's almost like trying to reach out through dense, viscous liquid. There is a heft to the energies around you, the darkness around you. It's no surprise considering what you've experienced here, but as you push through, you can feel your conviction driving you forward, the comfort in the light side of the Force, in your knowledge and understanding, and the oneness that you feel in balance. And I would even go so far as to say that with your personal understanding, perhaps this feels easier than you would expect it to feel. There is less pushback. And it's faint, but you do sense New 10. Far off, at the edges of your reach, as though your fingers can sort of brush against their existence, but not quite grasp them. In your momentary passing, you feel bits of confusion and fear and hope and anger, sort of all mixing and weaving in and out of each other as they go. And though it's not your intention, you feel other things as well. Senses, feelings, thoughts that are certainly not news, but seem to be weaving around her own. Those of anger and loss and determination and frustration and confidence, all just creating this tangled ball of emotion. And surrounding it all, encapsulating it, is this heavy, thrumming darkness, kept at bay by a thin sheen of light.
New 10 is alive and engaged as we have been engaged, I would think. I would hope that Lumara is with her.
She'll get out of there. She's tough.
Are these the other two?
Yes.
Wait, nods.
Are they capable?
More than they know.
Bane will challenge them.
At least one of them is a rebel.
We will. I would suggest then that we press ahead and see what this place has.
I'm gonna hit roll
In
real
store.
quick. I'm gonna hit roll to see how much I recover before we see what's in store, though.
Yeah, I was going to
Good
say.
call.
What's the roll for this?
Yeah, once,
It's either discipline or cool.
yeah, with no
Discipline or
difficulty.
cool.
Simple.
With no
yeah.
difficulty, yeah.
Yeah.
And every success nets you back a strain.
Mm-hmm.
I will do.
What about advantage?
I don't know that the advantage does anything on a. I think it's just.
think it's
on
just
the
hits.
success. No, it's
Successes.
just successes.
Yeah.
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 Okay, you know what? That's still good. That's 3 back.
Yeah, same here.
Let's see. What do I got here? I'm gonna roll. Oh yeah, discipline. Make a discipline roll. I get one back. ton of advantage.
God damn.
What's happening here? That's a lot.
Well, you know what it is? It's
Yeah.
Volden's a little distracted, obviously, reaching out and checking in.
Right.
Yeah,
My
fair.
mind was elsewhere.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a thing also as I stand up. And I don't know how palpable is it to feel when force powers are being used for other people. Because I don't know if you'd feel it because this I'm using enhance to enhance myself. But I'm gonna use enhance and commit the die. And I'm just gonna have it constantly up for the rest of the time that we're in this temple because now Bane is.
I was gonna say
Upset.
we've seen you do it before, so we probably at least know. You did it to catch Way.
Yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I would leave it
yeah.
entirely up to y'all how y'all perceive that if it's perceivable.
Because I'm definitely pumping off enhance there, but it's definitely not he's getting ready to fight. He's just preparing himself for a fight if it comes up. It's that vibe more than actively being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So do I make a force? I forget. Do I make a force check for this?
I believe if you're just committing the die for it, let me double check.
Make an athletics check. The force user may roll enhanced power check as part of the pool. So I guess not unless I'm doing an athletics check, but I can commit.
Yeah, I think when you commit the die, you just commit it.
You just
and-
commit it,
Oh,
right?
sorry, it's not enhanced.
Yeah.
Is not the one I'm doing. Sorry, it's oh gosh, what is it called? I think it's sense.
Sense.
Yeah, I think it's sense because I'm doing the thing where it makes it harder to hit.
Oh, yes, that's sense. Yeah, you don't have to roll anything.
Yeah.
When you're committing it, it just means when you do roll a force check, you roll one less die for every die that's committed. You're essentially taking that portion of your connection to the force and locking it in on that.
Lovely.
Yeah,
So
you
the-
lock it in, and then when you lock the die in, it upgrades their difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll change a purple die to a red die.
Lovely. And I have the obviously I have the first control upgrade. I have the duration and strength upgrade too. So I can do it twice per round and also upgrade the pool twice instead of once.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's what I do as I stand up. And this time I do pull out my sword.
Like the actual bladed one? Or the
Yeah, I pull
unbladed but long one?
Yeah, yeah, I pull out my sword from my back. And I No, that's all I do. I just pull out my sword, but I'm holding it, but I'm not getting ready to fight. It's just I'm ready to fight if something pops off, but not like, right now.
So it's not. Is it ignited or is it still?
It's not ignited.
Okay.
Actually, Veldon is going to go ahead and he's going to do the control thing too to commit a die. So.
Heck yeah, I love that. And there is so as the two of you sort of pull on the force to sort of cloak yourselves and make yourselves prepared, you can feel sort of your own personal sort of auras almost clashing against each other. It's not uncomfortable or unpleasant, but it does set the hairs on your body sort of on end. There is that moment where just for the briefest of seconds, there is that like fight or flight response that happens, recognizing who you are, where you are, what you're involved in, and the fine line that denotes you as allies or enemies here in this moment. The places where you exist within the Force. But one thing I'm going to ask before we proceed is, Ronin, when you were seated and pulling yourself together and sort of centering yourself, what does it feel like to you? What are you thinking on, focusing on? What is it that you use to remind yourself where you want your headspace to be, where you want your heart set in this moment?
I think there's two things that relate to each other but aren't the same thing, so to speak. But the first one is the anger in like the anger and abandonment I felt when my friends left me to rot in jail. And then the finding the like my transport ship falling from the sky and finding Odias and that community that I felt traveling with her.
Wonderful. Valden, I'm going to ask you the same question. When you sat and were centering yourself to try and regain and recenter and refocus, what is it that you're thinking on? What do you use to get there?
Valden would be thinking of his Padawan and thinking of just kind of going on a quick kind of mental overview of training and pondering if there is anything more that he could have done or anything different that he could have done to prepare Newton for a situation like this, and then coming finally to the conclusion that Newton is ready and prepared to face all of this, and that it may be difficult and it may be a struggle, but that he's confident that Newton will come out better for it.
Ever the guiding, hopeful master, Valden. And I love it. Wait, what about you? What is it that you use to center and focus and steel yourself for what's ahead?
So the first thing he does is he locks in on his shadow, but then he hears his master's voice swinging out as he's, like I said, basically shadow boxing. Just be mindful of your emotions. Be serene. Keep your mind quiet. Avoid killing an unarmed opponent. Like just the Jedi code. as he is like more or less looking back on a lifetime of ass whoopings. As somebody who's really not focused in on the Force, more so the art of the saber.
Love that. And the group of you rise, and Valden, Bellator, the two of you pull into yourselves the Force, steadying and readying and preparing yourself for what may be ahead. And as you move forward, that thrumming sound grows louder. Marginally so. It's not bellowing or screaming or overtaking your senses. But it's growing as you grow closer. You can feel that the thrumming is in tune with the shaking that you feel, the light rumbling beneath your feet, the way the walls of stone quiver around you. In the hall, you see torches, in fact, where there don't seem to have been any when you first landed here. And they flicker to life as you get close. The walls here are scrawled again with something. Symbols that seem to move and weave in and out of each other. A way you feel a tug at yourself, at something deep within you. You hear an almost unintelligible voice muttering as though rambling through something, speaking clearly to themselves, not looking for input or response, but it's there just in the back of your ear. Valden, the hallway seems familiar to you, almost. Like the halls that lead to the chamber of the masters at the Jedi Temple. There's something about it that is warm and welcoming and imposing as well. Bellator, beyond this hallway is darkness. It's nothing new for you. But in it you can see movement, writhing, wriggling, like black tendrils darker than the darkness itself. And they seem to be seeping outwards into that hall, avoiding narrowly the firelight, shifting up the walls, following the shadows, and as they do, they branch out like roots. What would the group of you like to do?
Keep pace with the others.
I think Ronin is. I feel like he's out front. Or I just started saying Bellator. Bellator is out. I think he's out front, because he is. There's a part of him that's cautious about this, but more so, the part of him that seeks the challenge is starting to surface a lot more than the cautiousness. So I think his pace is rather fast. Not really fast, but I think on the faster side. And I think he is just in like sort of seeped into that mindset of kind of like in the zone, if that makes sense. Like this is what he thrives in. This environment. The fact that he could die at any moment is what is setting his heart ablaze. Shout out Rengoku. And so I think there's like, I think sensing like tendrils. I think there's gonna be a moment where I try to use sense to see if I could like, if there's like someone in here. Is there someone in here with us? Type of vibe moment.
Certainly, you can roll me a force check. Remember, it's one less die because you haven't committed.
I rolled one dark, which is one.
Wonderful. Okay. So, you reach out with the force, and it is darkness around you, and it's so easy for you to root yourself into it. To reach out and feel this familiar power, your familiar power, because of course it's yours. Whose else could it possibly be? And you demand answers from it. And as it spreads from you, you feel the Jedi beside you, behind you. You feel something above, likely the spirits that you had dealt with earlier. But ahead of you, there is a void, an emptiness, beyond your comprehension of the Force, at least for now. There is nothing. If you didn't know better, if you didn't have eyes ahead of you, you would think that there is no space beyond this hallway, just a wall. Nothing. And yet, at its center, it calls to you. It offers you solace. It offers you rest. It offers you a moment's peace. You know that these offers are being made with the hope of enticing you, with the hope of offering you true respite. Perhaps the need to put down your weapons, the fulfillment of a desire to never fight again. But how does that make you feel, Ronin?
I light up my lightsaber. Peace. I don't want peace. I never sought peace. Something offering me peace is obviously something that wants to deny me my nature. And my nature is a warrior. That's why I took the name Bellator. There is no rest for the wicked. And as such, there's no rest for me.
Wonderful.
So my sword lights up, and it's black light shines. And I just say, there's something up ahead.
How many?
Seems like one, but I can't tell.
Is he reaching out to you, or are you reaching out to it?
I think in a way it's both.
More sensitive then? Might be more of the phantoms.
I think those are above us. This is something else. Something offering false peace.
Then we should be cautious.
Yeah.
I guess we have no choice but to press on, and we should just take care to watch for any traps, both physical and mental.
As you continue this conversation, as you stand there, as you prepare, Ronan, you notice that these roots continue to spread. Valden, there's a moment where I need you to make me a force roll, actually.
Okay. Got 2 and 2.
Wonderful. There's a moment where you can see them moving through the flickering light. Just these roots, these tendrils, almost like mold spreading across the stone, coating it. There is a desire within it, a need, a hunger that sort of calls. It wants to draw you, maybe not just you, but the light and the wisdom and the knowledge towards it. It wants what you have.
There is something hungry here. Something that seeks to devour us, but not, I think, in a physical sense. Perhaps in a physical sense as well. But I do not think that is its main goal.
Perhaps we should fill its belly and then some. And then how? Because hello, my order, I guess, my order or my chaos, whichever one is my dark side thing, is recklessness. So, so I'm gonna actually reach out with the force, with move, and try to pull this thing out into the open.
Ooh, I love that. Okay. So, roll me your force power.
Here we go.
Oh, that's too light.
Ooh.
Which I
What do you
am very
do?
fine
Now-
with using.
In theory, you only roll one because you do have one locked in, but that's okay because they're the same.
Oh, I got too light on the.
Yeah, so it doesn't
On the
matter.
one
'cause
die.
They're the same anyway. Oh, you got it on the one die. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Let's
yeah,
go. I
yeah.
apologize. Yeah, I hadn't glanced over. That's
Yep.
That's so much better.
That's so good. Okay. Do you have any of the upgrades for move?
I have 10 upgrades for
Damn.
There's all kinds of
Holy
upgrades for him.
shit.
Yeah,
You're
He's
moving
moving.
I have the
everything.
most. So I
He's moving.
have 2 magnitude upgrades. I have 2 strength upgrades,
Oh,
2
okay,
range.
cool.
I have hurl, pull, and also manipulate.
Great. Okay,
Nice.
yeah. So with those two, you can spend your base one, and then I will tell you because I don't think it's a surprise or a shock at all that you'll need to use it on strength because it's gonna be not a silhouette 0. But in order to do this, you are using and wielding the light side of the force,
Mm-hmm.
and we love to see it.
Yeah.
And Ronan, as you reach out,
So that's what I do.
you feel guided. You feel hands on yours. You feel a moment of stillness and peace in your chest. You feel confident but not hungry. You feel sated. You feel right. Maybe that one you're not so sure of. But you reach out and you can feel, instead of the heavy, overwhelming force with which you usually demand things move to you, from you, or otherwise, here you feel as though there are other hands reaching out with you. You can feel echoes of something here guiding you through the cracks of the thick, heavy darkness that exists around you. And your hand feels tight, as though the muscles in it cramp, as you strain to pull here. And you feel something pulling back. It's almost as though it is dragging from you your connection to the Force. And the rumbling grows louder and more powerful. That thrumming rises around you. Things shake, more rubble falls, rocks crashing to the ground, shattering stone at your feet, spreading across. And slowly the hallway itself seems to grow, to widen, the bricks that make it up spreading, separating, as carved stone pushes its way forward between them, impossibly so. And in it, you see more of those writhing tendrils pushing through, now ignoring the spaces of light, and in fact, as they reach it, snuffing it out, creating more darkness, until the only thing left is the illumination of your blade. And I believe that's the only one lit, correct? Did anyone else ignite their saber?
Not yet.
Wonderful.
Not yet.
Give me one moment. I'm terribly sorry.
That cat's going nuts.
I thought it was mood stuff. I was like, damn, this is getting intense.
Got that cat music going. Got to shake the cat across, make that jingle and running noise for
There you go.
for whatever's attacking us.
And now to
That's what it is.
Cat.
There it is.
Oh, yeah,
That's a whole tail.
That's what you see. The whole tail.
The whole tail. That's it.
Terribly sorry about that.
That's I mean, hey, it's cats. It is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah,
The cats decide how existence works, and that's just what happens now.
Cat's looking at
Yep.
cat.
Yep.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
So, as it moves forward, the light snuffed out, leaving the group of you bathed only in that dark glow that comes from the blade of Bellator's weapon. Oh. We have lost someone. We're going to hold on for one moment.
Yep. Saw that happen live. Where's that cat?
I'm gonna mention again.
There we go. He's back.
Oh, nice.
He's good. He's back.
Awesome. Okay.
We're hearing you kind of faint there, Stefan.
Yeah, you're very
Yeah,
quiet.
you're quiet.
Hold on, let me check my audio settings because I got booted for a second.
Yep, no worries.
The joys of VDO Ninja.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's free software, but sometimes you are a fickle bastard.
Is that better? you hear me more?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can bump your
Yeah.
gain just a little bit more, that would be great.
How about that?
Yeah, that's better.
It's being stubborn.
You know?
Okay. So, and as the light dissipates and you fall into mostly darkness, the only illumination surrounding you is the dark light coming off of Ronin's blade. Bellator's blade, apologies. But even in that darkness, you can see the movement. You can see the writhing as it
I have
grows
dark vision.
closer. Oh, yeah, you do. Excellent. Oh, that's so much better.
Totally forgotten about this because this is not 5th edition. Where everybody just has dark vision.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Everyone but like 2 things because I don't know. I guess that's how it works.
Yeah.
So here's what we're gonna do. I would like you to roll for me a perception cunning. It's going to be 2 purple dice.
Okay.
1 red die.
Woof. Okay, let me. Perception cunning, you said?
Yes.
Ick.
Right? That's what perception traditionally is. Yes.
Oh, that's advantage.
Can my does my lightsaber being lit count as an assist?
Not for this because he already has dark vision.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I think that there's like a specific thing that dark vision does.
You get a. Oh yeah, you might get a boost die.
It does
Let's double
something.
check.
Either that or it negates black dice, which is
It might be. I can't remember which one. Where are you, Keldor?
It removes up to 2 setback dice. Yeah, which I already factored in.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why you're not rolling any setback dice.
Damn. Okay. Oh no.
Oh yes.
At least the red one was scratch.
That's true.
Yeah. True,
That could have been a lot worse. Okay.
That's what, 1 disadvantage?
That
Or
is
that a
1
threat?
threat.
a threat.
Yes.
One threat. Yep. Yep.
Way, you see a figure that you immediately recognize moving towards you through the darkness. Head bowed ever so slightly, with a mask very similar to yours. There are hooks that seem to fall on chain from their arms. There is claws that flare out from the edges of the tendrils on their mask, and in their hand is a red light foil that seems to drag slightly against the stone, creating sparks and bits of molten magma as it moves. Their head tilts ever so slightly as they look at you, and even from behind the covered eyes, you can feel the bemused gaze that they give you. And for a moment, everything is cold. And you do not hear or sense or feel your companions. For a moment, you feel alone. As they watch you slowly coming closer, that thin tip continuing to carve a careful line through that stone down that hallway. As you see a figure you recognize as Darth Ravis closing in on you.
Just out loud, because Force stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, "Do either of you see him?"
Oh.
In the darkness, if you'd like to look, you can try. We can roll for it to see what y'all see.
You know, why
Sure,
not?
I'll give it a shot.
Wonderful. So it's going to have the same difficulty. It will be 2 purple and a red, but you will also have 2 setback dice.
Yeah. Obviously, my saber coming out too to give us a little bit of illumination.
Sure. I will remind everyone before y'all roll that you do have 6 destiny points that are light currently and 2 dark, which means that you both have the option of flipping a point to upgrade your dice.
Both of you do it so that we stay the same.
Yeah,
There's no
sure.
point. As long as one of us doesn't
That's
flip
true.
dice, we can cheat the system.
That's true.
Okay, here's the thing. I have keen-eyed, right, from seer, so it does take away 1
Ooh,
setback
nice.
die from perception
Nice.
or vigilance checks.
Heck yeah.
And I will flip a point to get rid of the other
Yeah,
one.
same. I'll
Sure.
flip a point too.
So it doesn't get rid of the other one, but it upgrades one of your die. So instead
Yes.
of rolling the green die for one of your green dice, you'll roll an extra yellow die.
So I'll roll 1 setback dice,
Uh-huh.
2 difficult, 2 purple, 1 red.
Yeah.
And what roll am I making again?
This is a perception cunning. Although I'm always open to being pitched ideas.
Yeah. I'm doing that thing in Fallen Order where you hold up the saber like
Yeah.
And sorry,
Let's see
you
how
said it
bad this
upgrades-
goes.
It upgrades one of the dice to a yellow die.
Yeah,
One of the
one of
green
your
dice to a
greens will
yellow?
become a yellow.
One of your green to a yellow,
Lovely.
yeah.
Okay, cool. So I'll be rolling 2 yellow ones.
So I netted no success, but I got an advantage.
You did. That's pretty good.
I'm sorry. There's also. Okay, no. Okay, cool. I'm just making sure that I got a lot of stuff here that does stuff. Like,
No,
when you
yeah.
start off as
I'm
like
doing it right.
a
I'm not
pretty
gonna-
tough character.
Yeah.
Since I didn't succeed, I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. Oh, that's nice.
Oh,
I didn't succeed, but I'm going to just go ahead and use that strain to kind of center myself or to heal a strain and center myself real quick.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna suggest that.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's
Oh.
I don't know what's going on here with this.
Well, that's
I read
got a
a threat and
triumph.
triumph.
Triumph. Good.
yeah.
Triumph can-
is
Triumph
a
can
lot.
count as successes. They're like
Yeah.
they're like critical successes for lack of a better term. If you think in like
Pretty much.
D&D terms, yeah.
Cool beans. We'll do that.
This is excellent. I'm so
Actually,
happy.
triumphs count as a success symbol and may also be spent to trigger a powerful positive consequence.
Right.
Is the exact wording. So
Yes.
Yes.
it is a success, but it does a success plus.
Right. Yes. And a threat, which is very exciting.
And a
So-
threat, yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna ask you.
And to cancel that bad boy.
I will give you the opportunity to cancel it out if you want to, but I will give you another option as well. If you're interested, there are 2 other things I'll let you try and do with it. Either you can spend it to get rid of 2 strain in this situation by leaning into the dark energies around you and helping to immediately center yourself. Or I will allow you to tell me what advantageous thing you recognize in this moment. You recognize or notice or realize in this moment.
Can I throw in a way catch thing before you like say this? Because this is also important information that because Wei just said, can you see him? And Wei also follows it up by the way, I can't hear or see you.
Okay. You said an advantageous thing that I do.
That you do or realize or notice. I am essentially handing you the storyteller reins for a moment to tell me something you would like to happen in your favor.
Okay. Does anyone remember the scene when Itadori punched through Mahito's domain expansion?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's what happens. If I can hear Waycash say I don't see or hear you, what I'm gonna do is this is almost like this again, it's just like blank expression on his face that he's just zoned in, and he looks at you, Valden, and then he just almost in a way pulling you in to his like force bubble, I guess you could say. He forces both of us into this vision that Waykesh is seeing. So basically putting us all in the same space once again.
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
here's the only difference I'm going to give you. The only thing that's different. So you do sort of force your way in, and there is a moment where you can see them almost sort of like step shoulder to shoulder to you, one on either side, as they just sort of appear out of the ether behind you. But what the two of you see ahead is not what Way sees. What the two of you see is this giant, writhing, shadowed being that seems almost dragon-esque in form. This long maw with sharp, ethereal, dark spectral teeth. Tendrils of shadow that wind off of it. Giant claws that seem to be somehow pulling the hallway open. And at the center of it is a pit of blackness in which you can see just a bit of movement. Something inside of there that seems humanoid. I think at this point, before we go any further, I am going to ask that we all roll initiative. So that's going to be cool, because there's no surprise. This is not shock. Everyone's aware of what's happening here. Y'all are potentially in danger. So it's going to be a simple, cool check. There's no difficulty to it whatsoever. We'll see.
Thankfully, because Way's cool is low.
My mood. So is mine.
Okay.
Jeez,
4 successes
Valden.
and a triumph.
Holy shit.
Okay, so a triumph is extra exciting because, as I remember it, a triumph in your initiative means you're also going to get to act before anyone else.
I also got a triumph.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
That's excellent. Give me one moment because I have to roll as well. But
Jedi
that
combo
is
attacks.
super exciting. And then I gotta make one more roll. Cool. Okay, so in this game, when you're in initiative, the way it works is a little different. Initiative slots are created, which means that y'all will be able to pick. As I recall, y'all will be able to pick who goes in what slot each round. You don't have to have the same initiative. You personally don't have to act at the same point. It's just you or an enemy. So very quickly, Way, you got 1, right?
Yeah, 1 and a triumph.
Awesome. Valden, you got 4. Ronin, you got 2, right?
Doing an advantage.
Awesome. Okay. So
Can I spend that advantage to heal a strain? Is that a
You
thing I
can.
can do now?
you can, yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I will do that right now, actually. To get myself back up one more strain.
Stealing yourself as you head into combat.
Yeah. Okay, now there are some triumphs. So what I'm gonna say is y'all can work it out between yourselves. Way, Valden, who would like to take that first free opening action as you stand here before, well, for the two of you, before this giant, dark, shadow-like void dragon creature, and Way standing before this familiar figure.
I don't think it would be Way in this circumstance, because Way is not an attack first. Sort of, especially like because he's like something's going on.
Yeah,
Like he knows he is not in proper minds, because up until a moment ago he could not see his allies.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that maybe he would take up like a defensive position at all, or not even that?
I mean, he'd take up a defensive position, but if that's spending an action,
Yeah, you can if you want. There's a maneuver called guarded stance.
It is guarded stance, but I'm just saying, like, for right now, it depends on how these two react. Depends on what he's doing.
Okay.
If it's like and I only say that because I know that you have an advancement too. So.
Okay. So then Volden,
Walden is just going to draw his saber at this point, his light foil, and then he is going to, seeing that Ronin appears to be the more martial amongst us, is going to just kind of maneuver around to let Ronin have a clear path, and prepare to support whatever's going on there.
wonderful. Love it. Okay. So, with that done, I will again look to you, Zach, if Way has anything they would like to do before we get into the round proper, because I know Ronin did not get a triumph. Or
Okay.
I will do guarded stance though.
Yeah, I will
Awesome.
also do guarded stance as well.
Sure, yeah, 100.
Mainly being I'm an intellect tank, which is weird to say, but like that's what I'm set up as. So yeah, I'll take the guarded stance.
Okay, so Way, you see this figure continuing to take careful steps towards you, and as they reach just outside of your range, just outside the range of your or their weapon, there is a moment where you feel this cold shock running through you. Your chest is tight, your muscles tense, your hair stands on end, whatever hair you may have stands on end. I don't know if Keldor have any hair. But you feel in your tendrils there is a bit of twitching and unsettling discomfort. And I'm going to need you to make a check for me. We're going to call it vigilance, because I believe that is how this
vigilance
works. I'm going to double check to make sure. Actually, it's going to be discipline or cool. Up to you, which you would like to do.
I'll definitely be discipline if that's the case. Is this an effect that's being dropped?
This is a fear check.
Okay, let me double check, because I don't know if I grabbed something. I might have
something.
Yeah. It's probably this one that's super little that I can't read.
I just realized as I was like craning in to try and read it, that the camera just gets the top of my head.
Okay. Well, either way, before, because I forgot that I had this maneuver with defensive stances, I'm gonna have to do this anyways. I'm gonna spend 3 strain right off the hop before this combat starts, and my difficulty for incoming melee attacks goes up by 3.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Whew.
That's
Nice.
excellent.
That is the weakest form of that ability.
That's so good though.
Yeah, it's really good.
Very nice.
Okay. So I'll take that strain in a second. What's the difficulty of this
It's
roll?
going to be 3 purple and 1 red.
Jeez. Okay. Oy. I'm going to recover one of those.
Yeah,
one of
you
those strains.
absolutely can. Unfortunately, so you have how many failures on there? 2 failures?
2. Yep.
Okay.
2 and a threat.
So for this encounter, you are going to be rolling with 2 setback dice on all of your actions.
Ouch. Okay.
There is a deep-seated fear that has gripped you here. And I'm actually going to ask you how that looks. What is it that, if anything, your companions will note about you as this settles over you?
I think Volden would notice it. No, I think because of how Bellator is too. His, because especially with the last one, usually it's been like a very natural extension of like his defensive posturing, but now it's like really closed. It's like tight. And he doesn't know what it is about Ravis, but he's rattled by this. I think he's hyper analyzing is what's going on.
Do you have abilities that you roll your force dice for?
No.
Okay. Cool.
I mean I have Seek and Ebb and Flow, but no, I am a Sorcerer Defender.
Awesome.
So
okay. So there is that moment of just deep fear that sort of settles over you. I will tell you that if at any point you do roll your force dice and choose to use one of the dark side die, you will be able to upgrade. No, I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. If you flip light side points to dark side, the destiny points,
okay,
you will be able to upgrade 2 of your dice for each 1 point you flip instead of 1 for 1.
Much more likely to happen than using force abilities.
Yeah. Okay. So, and as this settles over you, there is a moment where everything seems to still for just a second. And then he lunges forward, moving far more quickly than you'd expect. And he doesn't stab directly at you. He shifts past you, and for a moment, it looks as though he is going to swing his foil, or rather stab his foil at Ronin, just long enough to try and bait a reaction from you. At which point, he pivots on his heel, turning in almost a perfect pirouette and attempting to plunge the blade down into your chest.
I have
defense
melee 2, and it's 3 more difficult to hit me.
Yes, I love that. Okay. So is it 3 more difficult, or do I upgrade the dice?
If it says difficulty, it upgrades the dice. If it's defense, then it adds black dice.
Yeah.
Yep. Give me 2 seconds because there's a lot of writing.
Yeah, not a problem.
Always the last one. Okay, defensive stance. Once per round, difficulty of all melee incoming attacks of an equal number. Upgrade the difficulty of all incoming melee attacks.
It upgrades the dice.
So the dice go up to red dice. Yeah, it's not
purples become reds, and then if you ever get to the point that they're all red, then you add a purple.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have 2 armor on top of that.
That's great. I'm very glad to hear that. Okay. So let's roll these dice and see what happens. Oh. So that's a lot of success. So that's 3 success and 3 advantage.
Hot damn.
Ooh, that's nasty work, though. You know, that's kind of unfair, I feel like.
It's not great.
How each of those, that's so many. Is it because I'm scared? Is that why there's so many yellow? No, never mind. It's fine.
No, it's
you guys is great. Yeah,
indirectly maybe, but not directly. Okay.
Hot damn.
Yeah, that's
a
lot.
This guy's good.
So I think I know what happens. Wei thinks that he's doing what he would do because that is like an exact thing that we've described Wei doing before, and he's falling for the illusion.
Yeah. Okay, so I think
This is some
That's-
nasty work.
It's pretty nasty.
Now, since
work,
we
man.
don't see what he's seeing, how does that look to us?
Give me one moment to resolve the damage,
Sure,
and then I
sure.
will tell you. Unless you have something that you potentially want to do before we like resolve damage.
Yeah, there's something I might do depending on how it looks. To
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So
I'm also gonna parry.
yeah.
feel like-
yeah.
I feel
That's
like I
fair.
should parry.
You should. So there is a moment where Wei, who you've noticed has sort of tensed up and hit that sort of zone, begins to react. And at first you see nothing there that Wei is reacting to, and then there is a flash of shadow that seems to move almost through Wei Kesh. And you can watch as this almost like funnel, like a vortex, pulls that shadow back towards the center mass of darkness in the middle of this dragon-esque creature.
Okay. So it's like pulling him in.
It seems to be pulling from him more than pulling him
Okay.
specifically.
Does this ignore soak?
No.
Okay, then I reduce by 7.
Excellent. That's good. That's good.
Whew.
That's
Yeah.
excellent. I'm just double
I am
checking.
then
Yeah.
in that case, I am going to go ahead and use, because I now have enough to where I can do protect against any type of attack. So I'm going to do a protect. So I have to make a. Going to be an odd roll, but we'll see. What I get here. Ooh, it's dark side too. So I am going to. Yeah, go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and use the dark side here.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Oh, we love that.
And on that will reduce the damage by 4.
Oh, that's great. So
Reducing by 11. Jeez.
between your parry and the soak and that, you will be taking 3 wounds. You will, however, also be gaining 1 more setback die for 1
What's my-
round
I was
as you
gonna
are
say, what's my critical injury?
as you are disoriented.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
So as all this happens very quickly, Valden, tell us exactly what we see from you.
Valden sees all of this going on, and just kind of reaches out, extending his free hand that's not holding the saber, and just sort of just gives a push with the force against this this tendril that seems to be drawing from thing, and just uses the force to kind of disrupt this like tendril that's drawing from Wei Kesh.
I love that. So, Wei, what you see is as Ravis comes plunging down with the blade, there is a moment where you see Valden's hand extend, and he stumbles slightly to the side, just off balance, and the blade just sears a bit off your bicep, allowing you to sort of respond and deflect the rest.
Does it feel like how I imagine a lightsaber would, or does it feel?
No, it feels cold. It feels cold, and it feels it feels like you are being sliced open from the inside, not the outside, as though razors are pushing their way out of your flesh.
That might change what I do then.
The two of you, besides Wei, will notice that black sphere, that dark sphere in the center of this thing, begins to split, a small crack growing down its center vertically. And it almost feels like small shards of this void fall away in the process. And then we have a PC slot, so one of y'all can take a turn. Whoever would like to go.
if y'all
Ronin,
don't
please.
Yep.
Please do.
Go for it.
First thing I do is I quick draw. So I'm gonna use quick draw
Hell
to
yeah.
my other saber, which this is evidence that Bellator was lying to you before about him not having that many weapons.
To be fair, he said, I don't have a lightsaber, and then showed us a sword, and then pulled out a lightsaber. So this is still a surprise because there is a second saber.
Yeah.
The sword turned into a lightsaber, and now there's an actual regular lightsaber in it.
Exactly.
Which is also black, as he lights it up. And I'll look at Valden and I'll just say, I'll leave him to you. And I'm going to rush toward the enemy here.
Heck yeah.
And I'm trying to strike at the core. I'm doing my best to get there.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to say two. I'm giving you 2 setback dice because you're going to have to fight past the big imposing thing to get to its center.
Well, actually, you know something?
Yeah.
What's going to happen is no.
I like
that. Because
tell me why.
Danger. Because I'm going to use Sense Danger. I'm going to get rid of both of those setback dice.
Beautiful. We love it. Yeah, you are like perfectly bounding back and forth, weaving across like these shadowed talons as they come for you. These like spiked tendrils shoot forward, and every single time you are going under or over, you can like run up them. You have no issue with this whatsoever then.
And it's for anyone watching him, if y'all are watching him, it's like, again, it's that he lives for this. You can see the like joy on his face as he's doing this. He understands the danger, but he also loves the danger. But yeah, and I'm gonna do my best to strike at the core, and if I can, I'm gonna use Saber Swarm.
Ooh, okay.
Which is it's a maneuver. I suffer 1 strain to do it. And it says suffer 1 strain to make the next lightsaber combat check this turn and gain the linked item quality equal to my force rating during the check.
I love that.
Which I can spin to use 2 advantage to hit an additional time as many times as I have, as many times as the rating is in linked item, which is 2. So if I get 4 advantage, I can attack twice more.
Jeez.
That's so gross and I love it. Yes. Okay.
So what am I rolling here?
Well,
sounds like a lightsaber.
Yeah, so you're gonna roll whatever you normally would roll for your lightsabers. You're gonna roll with 2 red dice and 1 purple dice.
Okay. And for the 2 weapon fighting, it's 2 proficiency, 1 green, right?
So
ranks and
because you're using the same item, I believe you have 3 yellow, right? So you'll still be able to roll all 3 of your yellow.
Okay, got
right? Because it's all the same weapon.
Yes.
Got it. And then 2 red, 1 purple. Lovely. Here we are.
Ooh. That's in a despair.
What is I've never encountered that yet. What is that?
It's the opposite of a triumph.
Triumph, yeah.
It's the critical fail.
Something really you
it's a
hit,
fail plus
something really bad happens. Yeah.
Listen,
so
it's fine.
You still hit because of the success, but it just means something bad also happens.
Yeah. Okay. So
surely it'll be all right. Yeah.
I think
it's all good.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You hit. So do you want to resolve the other, like your linked stuff first, and we'll resolve that damage, and then we'll go over what happens?
I don't have any advantage here.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah, none to trigger it. Yeah.
I can't do it.
So it's just going to be your normal damage then, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what's the damage on that?
I believe lightsabers are 6, and I only hit with the primary, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, so
Except for the
you just
strength
would
I did
add the
use.
1 success that you got, so it would be 7.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. So you bring down your light blade, we'll call it for lack of a better term right now.
You have reach and sunder.
Yeah, you bring it down and you swipe across, and there is a bit of a sear left in this darkness, and you can see more cracks forming in it. You go to come down and stab with the darksaber, and then one of these tendrils wraps itself around you and flings you off to the side. You go bounding back and find yourself slamming into a nearby wall, and then taking about I'd say 7-foot fall to the ground. Rubble sort of falls around you. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna say, I'm just double checking. Yeah, we're gonna say that your darksaber falls underneath this thing as you are whipped away. So your second blade is now underneath the shadowy dragon creature.
Oh. Oh. All right. Yeah. There we go.
And then assuming that that's it for your turn.
I think that's all I got there.
Wonderful. Then up next is going to be your new bestie, the dragon. So it's going to twitch a bit as you see its head sort of shake, and as it does, it sort of loses form for a moment. For just a moment, it becomes just a writhing mess of darkness and shadow. And then it is going to slowly turn its gaze to you, Bellator. And a bunch of those tendrils are going to shoot forward at you.
I'm using my thing to upgrade its difficulty to hit me. What is it? I believe I can do it. I can upgrade it twice because I have I do have that committed.
Yes,
as
you do.
Stated before.
Excellent. Okay.
Let me just double check. It's the sense.
You have any defense?
I do. I have one and one for ranged and melee. Yeah, so I can upgrade the. Let me double check and make sure I do have that upgrade in the.
Sure.
Yeah. So I have the control and duration. I thought I had the strength. I don't have the strength yet. So I can upgrade its pool once.
Okay.
Well, I can do it twice per round, but upgrade the pool by 1. The difficulty of the pool by 1.
Okay. So you're upgrading 1 time or 2 times? Is that what?
1.
Okay,
Once.
cool. Just
I can do it another time, like if it's.
I see. Another instance of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do it twice per round.
Cool. Okay.
Only upgrading the pool by 1.
Great. All right. Yes. Okay.
And then you've got your defense, so you should have a black die.
Oh yeah. Do you have any defense?
I do have one for ranged and 1 for melee.
Wonderful. So that will add a setback die. Okay. Cool. Let's see how this shakes out. Okay. Well,
why are you doing this to me? What is this? What is this here?
This is the episode where we get humbled.
I'm gonna parry.
At least that upgrade gave it a despair, though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna parry,
which is nice.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I have 2 ranks in parry.
Is this the episode where Lion goes, "Oh, I may have overtuned this guy a little"? We've all done it as a game master, but
listen, there is a message I have from Extell from not too long ago that said, "Listen,
Look,
I
it's
want you to challenge me. Throw whatever you want at me. Y'all just
I'm okay
happen to
with that.
also be here."
Yeah.
No, I'm very much excited for this.
I have the
same.
utmost faith in y'all.
I got
so I'm
3
pairing-
setback dice right now.
Yeah, you do.
So I'm pairing. I have 2 ranks in parry. It suffers 3 strain to reduce the damage by 2 plus my ranks in parry.
Excellent.
So that's 2 plus 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It'll
4.
be by 4. So that's. And then I'm going to check
Yes.
this critical chart. And I'm gonna do. Let's do this. Cool. Okay. So here's what's gonna happen. So after your parry reduces by 4, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be
Ahsoka 4.
Oh, nice. You're gonna take 1 point of damage, 1 wound.
What the fuck?
That's that armored robes, man. That's the armored robes coming in.
I also have armored robes.
Well, different things attacking.
That's fair.
But, yeah, and so one of these, you managed to like swat away most of these tendrils fairly easily, and one of them pierces you right through the shoulder, just barely missing the like important muscle and tendon there. But you are going to take a difficulty on your next check, an additional difficulty, just 1 purple die, as that happens. And this thing lowers its maw almost against the ground, and it lets out this sort of earth-shaking groan. And as it does, you all feel as though the darkness around you is swelling and slowly being drawn into its center. And then one of y'all gets to go.
I think that the roar is what kind of brings Waykesh back. And I will be using a force power, actually, because I have one that is useful for this.
Mm-hmm.
I have Seek.
Mm-hmm.
And what he's looking for is whatever is tricking him, the origins of Ravis. Because he's like, we don't live that long. Like, he knows for a fact that that's the cause. And he also saw Ronin both in a whole other direction. So,
heck yeah.
Or Bellator, I guess. He doesn't know his name's Ronin.
Yeah, Bellator. Yes.
If you don't mind, Waykesh, Valden going before you.
Go for it. Yeah.
Instance.
Yeah, 100%.
Excited.
The longer I'm not doing shit, the better.
Check.
Yeah, do it.
I'm going to do a heal force power check. See what I get here. There we go. 2
Nice.
light dice, 2 dark. I'm going to go ahead and use the 2 light.
Mm-hmm.
And I am going to use my ability to remove 1 status effect from the target. So I am going to remove the disorient from Waykesh.
Very nice.
Awesome.
That'll get rid of
1
all
setback.
of it. So you can get rid of all
it.
of them. You can get rid of all of them. I'm gonna let that because it's all the same. It's different instances, but it's all the same status.
Stacking.
So it's just yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Rough times, everybody.
Yes.
Love it.
I am the support character. So.
Yeah. Some good stuff there.
Oh, well, now the monster gets to beat us up again.
Nope, Valden, you're up. Or I'm sorry, not Valden. Way, you're up. If that's all you're done doing.
Yeah, that's it for me. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah,
I'm
Way,
just gonna kind of. maneuver myself back a little bit so that these two kind of have the 4 and I'm just kind of there supporting, preparing.
Then here's the next question. Do I still see Ravis, or is it something else?
You do.
Okay.
You are welcome to
Balls.
try and roll dice about it if you'd like, but as of right now, you do.
Oh, well, it would still be I'm being tricked. So yeah, he's still going to try and figure out what's messing with him,
Yeah.
which is not a great roll, but we'll see what happens. Hey, there we go. There's two. two light side. So I'll
Nice.
activate the power of seek to look for.
See through illusions? Or
Oh, it doesn't see through illusions. It just tells me.
So with Seek,
Can it?
you can spend 1 force point to succeed. Oh, I'm sorry. You can spend
that
1
was
force point
sense.
and succeed. Oh, sense. I'm sorry. I thought it was Seek. I apologize.
No, I have seek, which just shows you items.
Well, no, Seek can be used to see through illusions.
Can it?
So the way Seek has 2 options. The first is to find a person or an object. The other is you can spend 1 and then roll an average difficulty vigilance check to see through an illusion.
Yeah.
Or an opposed discipline check, but I it will just be the vigilance, the average difficulty vigilance here.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, go for it. Let's do it.
Because I know. Let's see. Okay, let's see.
And if you have, do you have the control upgrade for Seek?
Yeah, but it's the one that gives upgrade vigilance perception once.
Okay,
That's what it says.
because I was going to say if you want to commit that other. Oh, you only have 1, right? You only have 1 force die. Yeah.
So
Okay.
the 2 options are spend 2 to gain insight into general location or direction
Mhm.
of person or object that knows about. I would say that I probably know about what's messing with me.
Sure.
Or spend 1 and succeed at an average vigilance check.
Yeah. So you would roll a vigilance check with 2 difficulty. To see
I'm just
through
going to
this.
take the general information because I can move and slash.
Ooh,
But
okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be able to see it to hit it.
Okay. So you're
I
trying
just need to know that it's close by and it's fucking with me.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to let you spend those. And what we'll say is you can feel. For a moment, you hear a voice. You hear the soft voice of your former master. And she goes, still your mind and reach out. Not every answer comes the easy way. And for a moment, there is a flare around Ravis. And you can see this shadowed outline surrounding him, and these tightly knit tendrils that seem to flow backwards into the shadow. And beyond that, you see that sphere, that dark void that they seem to be pouring out of.
Don't you? I think that's my turn.
Excellent. Okay. So you say that, and there's a tilt of the head, and then Ravis lunges forward again, one hand swooping underneath, using the force to kind of shoot your feet out as he stabs forward. He's going to try and get
2 more on that defense there
Mhm.
because of melee defense. I
Yeah.
don't have my defensive stance, unfortunately.
Okay.
But
That's okay, though. We can still make this work.
I can still parry.
Yeah, and that's what we love to see. Okay, so it will be. So you said 2 defense, so that's 2 black dice. You're not upgrading the difficulty, right? Not the are you?
Can I spend a force token to do that?
Ooh.
I don't know if I can in this situation.
I'll let you flip. I'll let you flip the light side to do it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Slowly but surely, these dark side points work their way back up. We love to see it. Okay.
Well,
So
I
we'll
also got
upgrade.
that bonus that you just told me about, where it affects 2. So.
Yep. So we're gonna upgrade both of the difficulty dice for this attack, and there are 2 setback dice. Let's see how it goes.
He's still gonna kick my ass.
Still rolled 4 advantage.
There are advantages. I have to check how this works. I'm not 100% sure if there are advantages but no successes in combat. How does that work?
You can still use the advantage on stuff.
But
like,
so I can still use it for like
example-
the advantage stuff, but I don't do any damage, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Like, for example, you could explain it like if you were, like, say, shooting at somebody, you miss them, but you could say, oh, I hit the wall next to him and that caused them to duck out of cover, so I'm using advantage to give them a setback die, or
I
I'm
see.
using that advantage to give them a setback die, or something like that. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so here's what I think is gonna happen. Yeah. So Ravis sort of like plunges in. You're just a step ahead and ready to shift your weight as your feet sort of slip out from under you, and you still tumble as the strike comes in, but it's not at the angle he's expecting, and with a light foil, it is a very precise attack. So you still go down, but the stab misses you completely. And as you slip, I'm going to say that you your wrist hits the ground and your lightsaber flickers for a moment as it loses its ignition, as the blade retracts. For the round, you're going to lose your defense bonuses, so the setback dice.
Okay.
Because I have more than 3 advantages, and 3 advantages can do that. So that's what we're going to say happens. And then there is this exhalation, and you see the steam pouring out from the mask and just sort of swirling up, and as it does, it turns into that shadow. One of the player characters can go now. Who would like to go?
I think it's gonna be me this time. I'm going to first. Am I on the ground or am I still standing?
You can have gotten back up. I don't mind. Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm going to use move to try to pull my saber back to me. Actually, let me double check. Do I have pull? No, pull is one of the. I have a lot of stuff on move.
You do.
Don't know if I have pull. I do have pull. So I'm gonna pull my. I'm gonna try to pull my saber back to me as I'm again rushing towards it. So I have my other one out, and I'm going to try to, get my saber back.
Yeah, love that. Okay.
Is this? Do I need to make a?
I'm double checking. Yeah, you do. Yeah, roll me a force.
It's too light.
Hey. Okay.
I keep getting 2 on this one die, which is nice, but I wish it was dark ones.
Well, as you reach out with the light side of the force again, you feel that sort of guiding force behind you, beside you, coaxing you forward, and you can feel the saber rattle a bit, and then it sweeps from the ground and back into your grip.
Lovely. And I'm rushing to. I don't know if I can attack still, but I am.
No, I do believe that is your
Yeah.
Double checking.
And yeah, then if I can't attack, then that's what I do this round.
Yeah, you can. still use a maneuver, I believe. Right? Yeah, you get one free maneuver. So that was your action. But you can use a maneuver, so you could use like a guarded stance or
Lovely.
something.
And then I shall.
Well, you're moving. Wait, I'm sorry. Hang on. You're moving in towards it, right?
Yeah, moving.
So actually, no. Yeah, that would
moving
count
is
as
a
your
maneuver,
maneuver for
yeah.
the turn. Yeah, I apologize.
Cool beans. No, you're good.
Okay. So, as you begin to move in towards it again, I think these tendrils begin to sort of twitch and shake and fire outwards again, spikes drawing off of them. As they shoot past you, a lot of them do sort of wisp off almost into these drifting bits of shadowy essence before they tremble again and erupt. And as they do, we're gonna roll about it.
Lovely. I'm upgrading their thing still.
Yes, it's one of the dice, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can upgrade one. I can upgrade their dice pool difficulty by 1. Yeah.
Awesome. And you have 2 defense, right?
Yes. No, I have 1 defense for. I have 1 and 1 for range.
Oh, you're
one for
right. Yeah,
melee.
I'm sorry. I looked at the wrong sheet.
You're all good.
Okay. Cool. Not too bad. Not too bad.
It's me. I'm parrying. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. It hits you. You should parry.
Yeah, I'm parrying.
Hurry away.
Take that. Take that 3 strain.
Nice.
Reduce it by 4.
Uh-huh. So you will take 3 wound. As
also my soak.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. How much is your soak?
4.
You take no wounds. As you bat away at these spikes as they erupt around you. And one thing I will say is that as they shatter, a bunch of this like shadow seems to cross over your face. For the rest of the round, you will have 1 setback die, as it is making it difficult for you to see what's happening around you. And then we move on to another PC, if anyone else would like to go.
Any ideas, Valden?
Trying to think. So which of the 2 looks worse off, like wound wise? Is it Way Cash? I take it.
I got 3 damage, but I'm also a hardy boy.
Okay. In that case,
I've got 1. So I think even still, it'd be more.
I don't know what your max is, so.
12.
Yeah, no.
Oh yeah, I can take a bigger hit than you.
Okay.
I can survive more than you can.
I'm gonna one thing just to be sure.
This thing's scary. Like,
Yeah.
I will say what I like about this game a lot compared to others is that combat is threatening.
Very.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel very powerful, but also very weak at the same time.
Yeah. If you get the jump on somebody, they're done. But if you get hit, you're like, oh no, here comes the chair.
Let me go ahead and I'm gonna do a heal roll. What I get here.
Sure.
Ooh, look at that.
Hey.
Coming up all dark.
Love it.
Gosh.
Oh.
So how many of them are you using?
I'm just gonna go ahead and use 1.
Okay.
Actually, no, you know what? In it.
Don't do it, Valden. You're the best of us.
Do
Just
it.
say fuck it. You guys can last around.
Do it.
Yeah, no,
Also,
I'm gonna do
wait,
one, and I'm gonna go
Valden,
ahead and
aren't you missing
heal.
a die there? Don't you roll
Yeah,
full
because
white?
I've got one
One's
committed.
committed.
I've got one
Right,
committed.
I forgot about
to
that.
Defense. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and heal Ronin, since I know Way Cash can take a licking and keep on ticking, so
Excellent.
Unless
Valden,
he hits me like he did the first time, but based on damage, I think we're okay.
so how
Yeah.
much does it heal for?
it would be a total of 3.
Wonderful. So here's what I am going to ask from you.
Yes.
Valden, as you reach out and you immediately feel your will taken with the dark side and impose this moment upon reality, upon Ronin, I would like you to share with us and with Ronin a moment in your past where you willfully, knowingly, and with intent harmed another person.
Oh yeah. Alden thinks back, and he remembers a time actually before he when he was very small and before he had joined the order. And he remembers a time where a group of kids were bullying another kid in the neighborhood. And he remembers the sort of rage he felt at them ganging up on this poor, defenseless kid. And he remembers just kind of like wading into the fray in a red rage and just laying out the smackdown without any regard to the consequence of it all, and perhaps going maybe a little bit further than he would have liked, and doing some serious damage, breaking one of the arms of one of the bullies. And he remembers feeling the slightest tinge of regret, but also not.
And I also experienced this.
Yes.
Lovely. Lovely to know.
I imagine that Bellator is like, oh, that's reassuring. Oh,
No, here above table. This is it confirms things in his mind, because he had suspicions on who among the 4 Jedi that he saw in this vision were the brightest to darkest. And he understands that Valden is the second one, is the second lightest with the tinge of dark in it. Which, and now understand that with that deduction, that Wakesh is the only one that's fully embraced the light side.
Delightful. And as this happens in this moment, you see the sphere of void begin to grow larger and wider, consuming some of the shadow around it. And the fractures begin to spread further. And if that's it, Valden, that leaves us with, I believe, Way.
yeah, my defensive shit's down, so I'm backing away from Ravis. But what I'm going to do, and this will definitely bump up a setback, I'm going to swing just in front of Bellator.
Interesting. Okay.
It's like totally in the air
Mhm.
because he just has like, because I'm pretty sure that's where like that pulse of, he's swinging it where the void was essentially.
Yeah.
So
you're trying to swing at the void.
yeah, whatever that
I love that.
that thing was between that Ravis is coming from.
Okay. So here's what I'm gonna say. You can roll your attack. You're going to include 2 red die and a purple die.
Side note, I totally forgot about my bodyguard ability. Sorry. Sorry there, Ronan. Forgot about that. Could have gotten to you a lot faster. That's my B. Okay. Is there any setback for this?
No.
Okay.
Very nice.
Okay. Oh, shit. I do have to roll one more green die because I do have aim.
Do it.
My
Make it
bad.
happen.
Fucking A.
There you go.
All right. This is the best way Kesh has felt in minutes. Let me take a look at that. It's personal combat, right? That's what this section is?
Yes.
Which page is that? Because we might just be...
Well, if you're looking for
you using
the advantages, it's page 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Using your lightsaber?
I am.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You should be able to trigger a crit with one of those.
Oh yes, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm gonna affect it with a critical injury
Love that.
as one of them.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only other thing. Yeah, and then I'll recover a strain for myself. Yeah.
You got to roll on the critical table.
Where's the critical table? What's that?
Page 10 on that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you using a standard lightsaber?
No, I'm using a saber cane.
Okay. Because I know standard lightsabers have vicious too. I'm not sure what the saber.
Saber cane has accurate 1, breach 1, and sunder.
Okay.
But
it doesn't have
none of those are applicable in this situation. Okay, so do I roll a D100 then?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, let me pull up a dice roller. I did not expect this.
So there's one on the dice roller we're using.
Oh, is there?
If you see where it just
there
says
is.
100.
It just says 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
14, which is
Sudden jolt.
Oh man.
That's okay. We're gonna make this interesting. I'm gonna make you an offer. Wait. If you would be willing to dip a little bit into that darkness that is so abundant around you, and we could flip one of these light side points, then we would be back perfectly in balance. And I would significantly upgrade the impact of your critical attack.
Oh, that would make it very interesting for Bellator.
It would.
Yeah, we're gonna do that just because I wanna see how Bellator handles that rattling realization.
Love it. So show
because
me
now the definition of Jedi is very much changing for him.
Show me how that looks. Tell us what we see in Wei wielding the dark side to inflict this devastating blow.
What I think you see, or at least how it appears, is as he swings out with the saber cane, he flips it, kind of holding it over his hand like a chisel.
Mm-hmm.
In like he switches hands with the saber cane going to his non-dominant hand, and the the hilt, the actual cane part of it coming into it, and he lines it up and just smashes it down onto it as like the darkness wraps around, kind of giving like that anime just like after flash down onto it.
I love that. And as that happens, there's a moment where you hear a cracking and then a shattering. As the sphere has cracks form all along its outside, and then it breaks. And as it falls away, you see Darth Ravis become wisps of smoke and fade and draw back towards what lays inside. There is a swirling blackness, a darkness that is tight and compact. Ronin, you saw something like this on Duxon just before everything collapsed, and as these shades reach outward, they seem to curl around the remnants of this shadowy dragon and pull it into itself as well. And then you hear, before you see it, that red illumination. As stepping from within the shadows of this sphere, glaring at you, is the pale white, almost spectral, yellow-skinned, yellow-eyed, sharp-toothed grimace of a figure that, based on the last projection, you quickly recognize as Darth Bane. There is a moment where everything is still. You can feel your muscles tensing and seizing, and I'm going to have to ask for the other two, not you, Waycash, but for the other two, I'm going to have to ask the two of you to make me a daunting fear check.
What's this?
So it's going to be 1 red, 3 purple, and you're going to be rolling with, I just had this, I believe it is either discipline or cool.
Let me see. I think I have
the same.
Cass coming in clutch in chat. Force Daddy is a bitch. Respect.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out now.
I'm gonna do cool because it's the same for me.
Sure, yeah.
I'm too cool to be spooked.
We'll see. We'll see.
There is no fear here. Let's go.
have a little thing that gives me a blue sky.
Nice. We like that.
Actually, can I flip a point? Because just to spite him, because I hate this guy so much.
You can you can flip a point to upgrade one of your dice. Absolutely. I'm going to ask as we resolve this.
Vaulted, are you gonna flip a point?
How you are wielding
this? So that way we can keep balance.
Yeah.
I will do that.
This moment of perfect balance between them. You know what? In fact, because you're both doing that, you can both upgrade 2 of your dice.
Oh, lovely.
Nice.
So it takes to yellow then?
Yes.
Yes.
Lovely. Because fuck this. Yeah, fuck.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Fuck you.
Oh, come on, Vaulted.
Oh, wait a minute. You said 2?
Yep, you
Yep,
get to
you can
upgrade 2.
2 of your dice.
Oh, that gives me a hell of a roll.
Oh boy. I'm so excited. Oh my god.
6 successes.
Owen has some discipline, so.
Amazing. Fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Yo.
That's great. Yeah, the 2 of you both managed to sort of steel yourself against this fear. Ronin, tell me how you are wielding the light side of the Force to do this.
I think it's purely just to spite, just because, just to spite Bane, just to piss him off even more. And it's like a shield. It almost, I think, I don't even know if I would see it, but I think maybe he does, as this like tall, tough shield, just standing in front of me, shielding me from his influence.
I love that. Valden, tell us how you use the dark side to push back and hold at bay.
I think Bolden can sense the enmity between these two, and that there is just a almost palpable sort of anger going back and forth between them, and so Valden is going to just tap into that a little bit to kind of resist.
I love that. Hell yeah. And as this happens, the eyes shift up to you, Wei, and the brow furrows, and he goes, "You do not even begin to comprehend the weight of your legacy."
Wei will look up as he fixes his saber grip, and just loud enough so him and Bane can hear one another, he says, "Just a few honeyed words."
And then Bane dashes forward. Immediately, there is this flurry of red as the curved hilt allows these awkward angles of attack, strike after strike coming down at you, Wei. And we're gonna roll about it.
Does this dude have the critical injury, or did what happened there?
He does not have the critical injury, but it did ensure that you wouldn't have to deal with him and the dragon.
Okay, I'm all right with that.
I figured that would be. Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna be great.
You had lost.
Hey,
so
side
this is a new round, so you have your defense dice back, which is
okay.
And do you have anything else that modifies the defense? Remind me.
I have
difficulty rather.
I have armor 2, and not right now because I just attacked instead of doing something else. So I'm sure that I will be coming with a new character next week.
No way. It's fine.
Yeah, you're right. No way. There will be no way. after this week, there will be no way cash.
Find out. Let's see.
I hardly knew ye.
Oh, look at that. Every single die has canceled each other out.
That's hilarious.
That's wonderful.
That's amazing. Yeah. I'm so happy.
The dice do agree with Cass, because
yep. Yeah, so just every single one of these, none of these are, it's all awkward angles, but it's nothing you haven't practiced against before. You've seen this, you've practiced against other duelists, you've spent so much time in practice, in action with your blade. You describe how you deflect these and what we see.
It's mocking is how it is. There's like, the blade will come, he'll parry with the blade, and then it'll come around with the second side. Then he'll like kick up the Corian wood sheath to like bounce it back at him. He's playing with him, it feels like. That's how Bane reads it, I think.
I love that.
But it's very frantic and methodical. I almost think what it actually is Bane was such a historied like Sith that we have text on this.
Ooh, I love
so
that.
he is just following the attack patterns that are used for like high difficulty Sith engagement.
Yep. That's great. And every single parry, every single response, you can see the rage growing on his face, the anger. The strikes fall harder, and they are sloppier as they come down. Who would like to go next?
I think before he goes, some originality would be nice.
I appreciate
If
that
I
this
may.
is just full-on becoming Dunk on Bane, and I love it.
Yeah, it's true. Yes, it's a good time. So if I may, what Ronin is going to try to do is while Waykesh and Bane are just going blow for blow, I'm going to change levels like I do. It's like I'm lower now, and I break out into the Naruto run with my sabers like behind me,
Mhm.
and I'm going to zip to the side and back behind Bane.
Mhm.
And I'm going to saber swarm right at his back.
I love this.
So yeah, that's the goal here. I take
Yeah,
one
for
string to
sure.
do this.
Okay,
And this is gonna be a time. I need
So
more.
it's gonna be 2 red dice and 1 purple,
Lovely.
and then yeah, go for it. And 2 setback dice.
2 setback.
Yes, for his defense.
Lovely times.
Get him.
Go. Oh,
Oh my god.
nice.
Let's go.
3 successes. I got no advantage again.
None. You did get a threat, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
3
yeah.
successes, 1 threat.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. How much damage is that gonna be?
So I believe the 6 plus the success is correct. So that's 9.
9. Okay. So
Breach and sunder. And it's initially the saber swarm would have been a strike across the back and then 1 to each leg, if I gotten all 3. But since it's just the 1, it's just a really deep one, I guess now. A slash across the back. And just to add more insult to injury on top of it, I'll say, maybe you're not as tough as you thought.
So you land your strike as his blade clashes with Waycash. And as your swipe comes across, it burns away some of the shadowy cloak that he wears. And there is the smell of singed cloth that sort of fills your nostrils. And as your blade comes past, you can see that covering his back are these small, hard amber bits that seem just barely scorched, and they tremble slightly. And after a moment, you realize you've seen these before. You've seen these back on Duxon, in that final chamber. The small, skittering insects that attempted to deny you your confrontation with Frieden Nat. And Bane looks almost unscathed. And you hear a
Smile winder.
wry laugh, as though mocking. Perhaps not as strong as you think.
Let's test it. Yeah.
And then he turns. And 2 things are going to happen very quickly. The first is that he will thrust a hand outwards towards you, Valden. And I'm going to check something very quickly. I'm going to... Yes. So he thrusts a hand out in your direction, and you very quickly feel all of that just lingering dark energy around you compress on you and surround you, and everything seems to shift. And you are now seated in this chamber, this almost completely empty chamber, save a single disc that floats inches above the ceiling, presenting just a faint bit of light down on you, and a hooded figure sitting knelt, head bent, but you can see just enough below the hood to see the face of Bane. And at the same time, as he turns and thrusts that arm out, he makes a stabbing motion up towards you, Ronin. And he's going to attempt an attack. So yes.
I will not do that. Actually, I was gonna say
Bodyguard.
Sure, yeah.
I forgot. Bump up his defense die by 1 because bodyguard.
Nice. Love that.
Oh, also, you healed me, right? I forgot.
Yeah, you were healed for 3.
You gave me 3
Okay.
on my wound or strain.
It was
your
wound.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely.
Double checking bodyguard.
That's gonna be great.
Sure.
Because...
And there's no upgrade to the defense dice anymore, right? Those are gone.
No, yeah, I don't
Oh,
have
and I take that back.
Yeah.
I take that back because. Oh no, never mind. Because I used the dark side to heal him, right?
You did, yeah.
I remember right. Yeah, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That wouldn't trigger.
So I take 1 strain, and Bellator's difficulty melee defense goes up by 1.
Nice. So that'll be 2 setback dice.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I'll use my Sins thing also to upgrade the difficulty to hit me again by 1 by 1 also.
Heck
That's
yeah.
totally fair.
Let's go.
That's reasonable.
That's a very good idea. All right. So if I'm
I
right,
haven't committed. I'm gonna use it.
It's 1 red, 1 purple, and then 2 black. Cool.
I hope so.
Yeah, let's see how it goes.
If it's not that, I hope it's that or better.
Oh, okay.
That's
All advantage.
That
Full
could
advantage.
be worse.
it's not ideal, but also it's not the worst thing.
Yeah. So I think as he thrusts up, you're already sort of coming down, and it's easy enough, especially with both of your weapons, to sort of push it out of the way. But as you go to land, he steps forward, and his heel catches your shin, taking you off your sure footing. And you're going to have a setback dice on your next action. And then we're going to shift back to Valden for a moment. Sitting there now, face to face with this ancient Lord of the Sith. And he goes, "You call yourself a Jedi, but I sense the willingness in you. There is more there."
Eldon is going to look about, kind of take stock, nod at Bane's words, and will step forward in front of Bane and sink down to his knees, placing his palms on his knees. And he'll look directly at Bane and say, "I was a Padawan, master, saw that something like this would happen, that I would be tested. Contest of wills, then. and then he will bow his head.
And there is another tight, almost mocking laugh. You Jedi think everything to be a test. I am not your test, Master Jedi. I am but a precursor for what is to come. And I think that's where we're going to end today's session.
Can I add one thing?
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
Valden will say, "In that we agree, Bane. The test is not you."
I'm sorry. Could you say that one more time? You were very quiet. I'm sorry.
He'll say, in that we agree, Bane. The test is not you. It is within me.
And that's, I think, just as those
Fucking
last words are
chills.
coming out, is when we sort of fade to black. And we get that last word, as we are in black. And that's where we're going to end today's episode. Thank you so much. Y'all are amazing, and I appreciate y'all being here and being a part of this. Thank you to our wonderful chat for hanging out and being a part of this as well. Yes, Cass is right. What a line to end on. Just all of y'all coming in clutch. So we're going to take a moment, tell y'all where everyone can be found, what everyone's getting up to, and all that good stuff. And we're going to go in the opposite direction, which means, Zach, I'm going to throw it to you first, and then you can throw it around.
Hey, everybody. My name is Zach. You can find me on Blue Sky at scheduled for launch. That's the number 4. I'm not doing a whole lot right now, but you're going to see more of me in the near future. We're going to have to update Nightbot at some point because I think it just throws out our Twitters. I totally forgot about Nightbot.
We got to teach Nightbot the new info. Yeah.
Yeah. I also made the music for the show in between. So thank you for all the kind words about that from the cast. But I believe the next person is Stefan, right?
Yes, you can find me on Blue Sky at Umbral Knight X. You can still also find me on the platform formerly known as Twitter at Umbral_Knight X. I'm gonna hang on there. I know a lot of people have left for perfectly valid reasons, but I think as an educator, that's the kind of place I don't want to completely extricate myself from a place where I think there are people who need to hear some of the things I say about representation and all of that sort of things. And I know there are a lot of them that aren't going to listen, but if I can get 1 or 2, then I consider myself successful. So you'll still find me there occasionally for anyone who's still on that platform. And then keep your eyes peeled. We've got some stuff that I'm working over with Apochromatic and Chaotic Wholesome coming up for hopefully for Black History Month coming up here soon. So keep your eyes peeled for that.
Yeah. X.
Hello, everybody. I'm Extell, aka at Extro the King on all the socials. You can catch me here every Thursday, and also on All Our Faults is a Monster Hearts podcast. Really fun time playing the werewolf skin. It's a great time, Solomon. I believe we actually have a recording for it tomorrow, so it's gonna be a wonderful moment. Let's see. You can find me on the socials, Blue Sky Threads. I'm on Twitter, kind of, but I'm privated, so I'm mainly on there because some of my friends are still there, so just keeping up with them. And what else? There's something else that I wanted to say. Yes. So doing the charity drive also for, I believe it is. Let me double check because it's been a minute since I've looked at the info. Been so busy. Last year, Run DMG hosted a charity drive for Doctors Without Borders, and we're doing it again this year for the month of January. So go by. I'll be posting a link on my socials. You can find the link on a lot of people's socials. A big group of people that are involved in this, and so I'll be posting a link later on my socials talking about it. But you can go and check out the Tiltify, which has tons and tons of rewards for donating, and helping out the people at Gaza. So check that out. And I'm offering a reward of if you I believe it was donating $80, I'll run a one shot of Vampire for you. I'm gonna start playing. So check that out. It's a good time given to a good cause, and you get some good rewards. There's a bunch of stuff on there from a bunch of different people, a bunch of people in the space, so it's a good time. But yeah, I think that's what I got.
Heck yeah. And because I'll get yelled at if I don't do it, hey y'all, it's Drake Lionheart. Most people call me Lion. I use they, he pronouns, and I am the studio director for Tales from the Table Studios. You can find me on all socials at It's Drake Lionheart, except for on Twitter, where I'm still the Lion Knight 42, although I don't really do much on there. Usually if I post on there, it's because I'm cross-posting from other stuff, so follow me elsewhere. I'm pretty active on Blue Sky. That's where you'll find me most of the time. You'll also find me here at Tales from the Table Studios, where today I am lucky enough to be the tail slinger for this wonderful game with this amazing cast, and I couldn't ask for a better group of people. Both y'all and the people will be sitting down next week, because you'll find me here again next Saturday with our other group of not Jedi and Jedi. I almost said the word, but I'm not gonna yet. But we'll see how it shakes out. But you can also hire me to run games for you, write for your games, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. You can go check out my stuff there. We also have a Discord. You can join us in our Discord. The link is down in our About section, where you can see a page that we have set up special for all of our cast. You can see what they're doing, what they're up to, their socials, and all the other cool stuff, so you can follow and support them as you would like. We also have an amazing group of people. Our community is phenomenal. All of these wonderful people are there. Pop in and say, hey, we've got game designers, AP performers, storytellers, and just an amazing group of human beings. It's a great place. It's the first place to get a look at what we're planning, what we're working on, all our casting, our charity events, and more. We've also got some event nights that we're working on getting going, because it's New Year and we want to do some new cool stuff with all of y'all. So keep an eye out for that. Now, before we go, I did promise that there's a little bit extra, so there's something to bring up. So, after next Saturday, you'll be able to see me again the day after in the same time slot, 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern, as we bring you the Celestial Railway Job, a heist in space with a lot of deep inspiration coming from things like Firefly and Cowboy Bebop. It's going to be a great time. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a scum and villainy game, unlike any you've seen before. Our cast is going to be absolute fire, and I can't wait to see how they manage to pull this off, because believe me when I tell you, it is the heist of the century. But until next time, because I think that's all I have to go over now, remember to take care of yourself. Love yourself. Eat enough food. Drink enough water. Do the things you gotta do, and always tell your tales. Love you so much. See you soon. And may the Force be with you. Always. Bye.